How do I handle constant harassment from a coworker? I've reported it to all upper management and beyond. Now I just look like a crazy person. So that was the other kind of flip side of the coin that Emily and I discussed was, if you assume that it's true harassment and that word, that we just discussed and kind of gave some examples of, this person sounds unheard. They've felt like they've taken it to upper management and gone through proper courses, but nothing's been done.
So based on what we have here, I can make a couple assumptions. First one assumption is the person they're being harassed by is not their boss because it's a coworker. We can also make the assumption based on what they said there that they have not directly approached the person. They said I reported to all upper management, whatever that means, but doesn't say like I had the conversation with the person, they won't stop. They didn't say that to us. So I would say there's room for a conversation there. I would also say, it doesn't sound like they've talked necessarily to HR, so that would be a potential path to go down. If they wanted to go back to the manager path, if they feel really comfortable and feel like that this really is harassment and they feel like they feel grounded in their experience of this and that other people would have a similar experience, then I would go back to the manager and say, hey, we've talked about this before. I've shared this with you. I'm curious. Nothing's really happened since I shared it with you. Is there something I could do differently or say differently to help stimulate action? Because you need to understand this is unsustainable and untenable for me. So if this continues, I'm likely going to need to leave and find another place that's a little bit healthier environment. This is a time and place where you can play that card and you're likely to get heard because no employer right now wants to see people leave. Everyone's understaffed and having a hard time filling those seats. And frankly, if they do fill those seats, they're going to have to pay a 20% premium. Yeah. So they would rather you stay. So you just might need to create a little bit of hot sauce on your own. Put a little urgency and just put a little hot sauce and say, remember there's two kinds of urgency in the world: opportunity scenario and the worst case scenario. In this case, we're using worst case scenario hot sauce. If you don't do this, Miss Manager or Mr. Manager, that's fine. I'm going to leave in about 30 days. And then you'll have that role open that you'll have to fill or do yourself. So don't be afraid to put a little hot sauce on their tongue yourself.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, that made me even think of, correct me if this is wrong, Brandon, but it seems typically if one person's being harassed, perhaps there are others on the team that are being harassed. And so if the situation isn't dealt with, you could be possibly dealing with 2 or 3 people who leave instead of one.
Well, Whitney, you make a really good point. If you really want to see movement and change happen. So when I've seen someone go to a manager and complain about somebody else, they typically tend to take the side of the other person. If I see a team go to a manager and complain about somebody else, they always take the side of the team. And I've seen extreme cases where someone goes to HR, complains about their manager. They're never going to be the HR will never take your side. They're always going to take the side of the manager. But if the whole team goes to HR and complains about a manager, I've seen that manager removed within a week. So wow. if you think that other people are experiencing the same thing, get yourself a little group together, share experiences, and go together as a group to the manager or to HR, and you will see movement happen very quickly. So that is another option at your disposal if you don't think you're alone.